So, you're getting into AI, and you keep hearing these two terms thrown around, prompt engineering and fine-tuning. They might sound a little technical, but honestly, they're just two different ways to get some incredible results from an AI. The big question, though, is which one should you learn first? Well, today we're going to give you a super clear answer and a simple roadmap to follow. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get to know these two key skills. Then, we'll take a deep dive into prompt engineering. And after that, we'll look at fine-tuning. Then, we'll put them head-to-head to see the differences, and we'll finish up with a clear learning path just for you.
To make this really simple, let's think about it like this. Imagine you've hired a very smart, very capable assistant. Now, to get better work out of them, you've really got two options. Option 1, you can get really good at giving them crystal clear, detailed instructions. That, my friends, is prompt engineering. Or option 2, you could enroll them in a special training program using your company's private documents. And that is fine-tuning.
Okay, let's start with that first path, becoming a master communicator with your AI. This is all about the quality of the instructions you give it. So, what exactly is prompt engineering? It's basically the art of writing great instructions for an AI. The most important thing to get here is that you're not actually changing the AI model itself. You're just getting way, way better at asking for exactly what you want. And honestly, this is a skill everyone can learn to get dramatically better results, and fast. And you can start using some really powerful techniques right away. For example, you can tell the AI to take on a role like act as an expert marketer, or you can give it a few examples of what you want the output to look like. That's called few-shot prompting. You can even ask it to explain its thinking step by step, which helps you get more logical and well-reasoned answers. And here's a perfect example of what I mean. A vague prompt like, summarize this article. Well, it gets you a generic wall of text. But look at the improved prompt by telling it the audience, a busy executive, and the format, 3 bullet points and a concluding sentence. You guide the AI to give you a much more focused and, frankly, a much more useful answer. It's the same AI, just with way better instructions. But what if giving better instructions just isn't enough for the job you need to do? Well, that brings us to our second path, creating a true specialist. Fine-tuning is a whole different beast. See, with this, you are actually changing the model. You take a powerful, general-purpose AI and you train it even more. But this time, you use your own specific private data. This process literally rewires the model to become an expert in your specific world. The best analogy for this is a doctor. A pre-trained model is like a general practitioner. They know a little bit about everything. Fine-tuning is like sending that doctor back to medical school, but this time they only study cardiology. After thousands of heart-related cases, they emerge as a heart surgeon, a true specialist. And you see this in the real world all the time. A customer support bot that knows a company's product line inside and out, that's been fine-tuned. An AI that can accurately classify complex legal or medical documents, yep, also fine-tuned. Even Spotify recommending that perfect next song for you, that's a brilliant example of this kind of powerful specialization at work. So we have the master communicator versus the trained specialist. Which one is better? Well, the truth is, it completely depends on the job at hand. Let's put them head to head. Let's just look at the numbers. For most day-to-day tasks, really good prompting can get you to about 70 to 85% accuracy, which is pretty great. But for critical, specialized jobs, fine-tuning can boost that to 95% or even higher. But that accuracy comes with a trade-off. Prompting is fast and cheap, whereas fine-tuning is a serious investment of both time and money. So how do you choose? It really just comes down to this. If you're prototyping, testing an idea, or it's just a one-off task, start with prompt engineering. It's fast. But if you need over 95% accuracy for a high-volume, mission-critical task that you'll run over and over again, that's when you invest in fine-tuning. Okay, let's make this super real. A startup needs to build a demo for investors next week. They don't have the time or the money for fine-tuning. They're going to use clever prompt engineering to get it done fast. On the flip side, a large hospital needs to analyze thousands of patient notes with almost perfect accuracy. For them, the investment in fine-tuning isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely necessary. So, with all of this in mind, what's the right learning path for you? Let's lay out a clear and simple roadmap. The answer here is actually pretty clear. Everyone should start by mastering prompt engineering. It is a universal skill. It gives you immediate results, and importantly, it teaches you how these models think.
Then, once you've gotten really good at that, and you find a problem that prompting alone just can't solve, that's when it's time to level up and explore fine-tuning.
So let's do a quick recap. Prompt engineering is all about giving better instructions to a generalist AI. Fine-tuning is about creating a true specialist from scratch. One is fast, cheap, and flexible. The other delivers incredible accuracy for specific jobs, but it does come at a higher cost. And there you have it. You now have the framework. You know the two fundamental paths to getting more from AI. The only question left is, what problem are you going to solve first?